Good morning, Mom. I am really just tripping hard on my hair. My hair has never had this kind of fullness unless I had a perm in it. Could never hold a curl unless I had a perm. Straight as a pin feather my whole life. I know I had baby hair that was curly, but most baby hair is curly. And if you have curly hair, a haircut won't take it away because the curls are actually defined in the scalp, in the actual follicle, in the shape of the follicle. That's what dictates whether you have curly hair or not. No haircut in the world is going to change that. All that to say, I have had straight hair my whole life. And now, look at this. What is this? All this fluff and curl and what? I don't even know how to treat it. I don't even know how to work with it. What? I don't even, I'm at a loss because, what the hell? I don't even know what to say. My hair has never done this on its own before. I mean, I know it looks like hell, but I don't think you understand. Normally, my hair, when I got up in the morning, would be as straight as it was when I went to bed. And bedhead meant nothing to my hair, you know? Whoa. So, I don't know, I guess I'm gonna have to figure out how to work with hair that has body. Who knew that was in there? But you know, it started changing when I went through the change. So, almost 20 years ago, almost. So, but here we are. It just seems like every year it gets a little bit more fluffy. I wonder what would happen if I had them cut me a pixie. Would it be a curly pixie? I don't know. Anyways, well, the sun is shining brightly. I'm gonna scooch a little bit closer because the sun is in my face when I sit back. So, I'm out in the greenhouse. I don't know what time it is. Let's see. No, that's not on. I'm on my second cup of coffee, so it's somewhere between 9 and 11. Anyways, you know, speaking of pixies, Isabella has cut her hair again and again and again. And she's gotten it to a length that is really quite short, but quite stunning on her. She has that beautiful long neck and her facial structure. It just looks so beautiful on her. And she could wear any hairstyle she wanted. Isn't she lucky? Not everybody can, you know. Though some try. I may be one, you know. I prefer the longer hair, but it does make me look a little older. But that's if I just keep it straight and with no kind of style. But if there's any kind of layering, then hi baby, that's my love. It's George. Brett thinks I'm crazy. He doesn't think that it's George's hair in there, and he wants me to put his collar back on. But I can see spots where he should have more hair. He hears somebody bouncing a basketball. It must be pretty early. Oh, it's 9:30. Okay, it's 9:30. Are you trying to come up, sir? George, come on. You want to come up? Baby, come here. Come here, baby. Are you coming up? Come on. He's getting ready to leave because I wouldn't give him a lap. Here you go, baby. I'm ass out. He said snooze and lose. Anyways, so I've been working on the kitchen, you know, and also making some tomato sauce. But the tomatoes that I used for the sauce were the bigger tomatoes, well, whatever was left in the freezer. So I had the I can't think of their name. Prairie Fire. They were almost like Aroma, but not quite. Aroma is just really pulp heavy, which is wonderful. But also I had the beefsteak tomatoes, which very interestingly enough, the tomato itself produced a burgundy colored tomato. It added a little depth of color to my sauce. So that was fun. And then also I had the Perron. I don't know, Peron. They're basically just a little red, not a little, but you know, just regular red tomato. So I didn't have any aromas left because that's what I used to make the tomato sauce that I made before, because the recipe specifically called for Roma tomatoes. So I don't have any Roma seeds. I'm out. I need to order more, but I do have the Amish and the Shelby going, and those are very, very, very right on par with aroma. I don't know about flavor, but I mean in terms of the pulpiness, where it's just not, I mean, it has its level of water, but not quite as significant, I suppose, as these other tomatoes. Anyways, so I've already reduced it down like 3 inches. I want to go like halfway, because right now it feels like it's just nothing more than tomato soup. Which I could do that, but I'm not trying to. I'm trying to do some sauce, because I only have 2 cans of the sauce left, and I would like to make a few quart jars of sauce, because I used 2 cans of sauce when I made the pasta the last time, because 1 can was not quite enough. So I'm going to start doing the sauce in quarts. So I turned the sauce off and started working on the kitchen. I got a load of dishes going, and you know, yesterday when we were talking, I was you know, trimming up the strawberry plants, taking out all the old leaves and stems from last year, and you know, whatnot. And I still need to go out there, and now I need to put the berry tone in there and all the cells. And I also want to add, there's quite a few cells that need some more potting soil, which is fine, I have plenty. So I'll bring a bag of that out there in the berry tone, and get that completely done. It's already starting to push strawberries, so yeah. Oh, I found the tag. Remember I told you that I had the 3 different strawberries. I have the Everbearing, which is the Seascape. I have the June Bearing, which is the Jewel. And I found the tag for the 3rd one, which is the Early Bearing, which is called the Early Glow. So those ones go, those and the Seascapes go first, and then once the Early Glow peters out, what was the one? Oh, shit. The Jewels, they come in. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the Seascapes are going to just keep on going. And they go, and they go, and they go. ever bearing. They bear all season not long. Now, of course, they go dormant just like the other strawberries when all strawberries go dormant. So they're not bearing, all year long. But essentially, through the 3 different strawberry harvesting seasons, if you will, depending on what type you have. Yeah, when I ordered this pack, the pack was designed specifically for that, so that you can have strawberries throughout the entire year, you know, and not just one type. So, so that was fun. I'm really glad that I ended up getting them that way. And so, yeah. And then I don't really know which ones these are, to be honest with you. I really don't. And it's because these were grown off of the runners, and I don't know. I didn't signify, oh, well, this came from this level, which means it's, you know, this kind or what have you, because I think the jewels are on the bottom, the early glows are in the middle, and the seascapes are on the top. So that's how I planted things out. But, you know, not everything fit within its designed area, and I had to do overflows into other areas, you know. So all that to say, I don't really know which one this is, but I do know that it is an established strawberry plant. I'm not going to put it in the vertical. Well, I kind of am. I got another vertical. I didn't buy one, but I have an old vertical that I used to use. It's not the green stock, but I can put a few of those sections together and start creating more strawberries. So I checked on I think I showed it in the video, the last video I did, but I checked on the other strawberries that I was telling you about from the runners that I pulled and put in that vase, and those roots are looking pretty damn good. So I need to bring them in here and get them potted up. That's when I tend to lose a couple, but it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, you got me thinking about the strawberry jam, Mom. So I really need to make sure that I have plenty for Brett and for making jam. Sorry, I'm messing with my hair. So, anyways, what a beautiful morning. We're actually gonna get to, like, I think they said 75 in the next couple of days. What? That's crazy talk, yo. Yeah. I do need to find my stapler and get the mule tape in place. I really, also, I'm going to order the foam wraps where you can wrap stems to something without creating any damage, because we do get a lot of wind through here in the afternoon, as you know. So, you know, the foam ties allow for the movement without the kind of rubbing into the wood. I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna laugh at me because I always reference her, but Laura over at Garden Answer, that's what she uses, and they really do the trick. They hold her canes in place in terms of to the support, but they also she gets way more massive winds than we do, but everything is able to move and also stay attached to the support with no damage. And so so far, things that I have a use for that she has used, not just once, but she uses because she finds it, you know, to be the thing that works, right? I mean, we all go through trying to find different things that work for different things, for different jobs and whatnot. And so when you land on something, you know, you tend to stick with it. And so there are times when I need to figure out something, and I immediately something pops into my head about, oh yeah, Laura, da da da, right? Whatever. And so I'll go, like this mister that I use. She used it long before she had her shop. And I thought, man, I really need that because I overwater. And it's the addict brain in me, you know. If some is good, more is better, right? But that's not true. Especially when you're dealing with seedlings, you don't want more. More is not better. More is death. So, in any event, um, yeah. So when I was thinking about how to, because I had these plastic clips that I could put around that I kind of used on the tomatoes, but I think I'm gonna use those foam wraps on the tomato plants this year because the clips are really brittle. But anyways, I had these plastic clips, but as soon as I started thinking about using them, Laura came to mind with those foam wraps, and it's yeah, I'm gonna order those and get those in. I believe she has some in her shop. If not, I'll pick it up off of Amazon. I like to try to buy from her before I go buy from someone else, depending on if she has the size. Like, I like to buy the big bag of Biotone, but she only sells the smaller bag. So I don't buy my Biotone from her, but I buy like my Espoma liquid fertilizer. This is for the succulents, cactuses, succulents, as well as the indoor. I don't see it around here right now. Huh? I wonder where it is. Oh, there it is. But the nice thing about this is she sells the bigger jar of this one, because when you're doing seedlings, you really do go through a lot. I mean, obviously, there's times when you only use half the dose and whatnot, but so you do a quarter of a cap initially for seedlings, because you're supposed to do a half a cup for established plants. And so for seedlings, you cut it in half until they get to a certain point, and then you start taking it up to normal dose. Oh, my neck just, ow. Oh, my neck just, oh. I'm stiff today. Whew. I'm stiff today because I milled 16 pounds of tomatoes yesterday. And I just am so sore. It's just my neck because, you know, and then, so I'm using the new food mill because I mucked up my juicer trying to do it in the juicer. And I've got to clean all that shit today. So I got a big ass pile of equipment I've got to clean. And but anyway, so I pulled out the new food mill. You know, I bought it when I decided that crap one that I bought at Walmart was just that crap. And it hurt like hell. I mean, it hurt. The way it was designed was the poorest design I think I've ever experienced in my life on food processing equipment. So anyways, and it's funny because the first time I went to go buy a food mill, I had put the one that I have right now in my cart on Amazon. And by the time I had the money to actually buy it, it was no longer in stock, and I was bummed. So when I found this one on sale at Walmart, I thought, man, what the hell? It's stainless steel, right? And you know, what a piece of crap that was. And so so then I turned around, and this one that I wanted originally was back in stock. And so I bought that sucker right away, and then I put it in my closet because I didn't have the need or the desire to make any more sauces. And so knowing that I needed to make sauces because I had all the tomatoes in the freezer, I was just, you know, waiting for the right time. And so then I pulled it out. Well, first I couldn't find it. I went looking for it high and low. I swear, I was like, did I throw it out? Oh my gosh. I totally forgot it was in the back of my closet. And then, you know, at one point I was like, I didn't look in the very back. Let me look. And sure enough, there it was. Big as day. So I pulled it out. I put it together. And I definitely like it much better than the other one. But I can tell you that either I put it together poorly, or something is going on. I'm doing something wrong, or it's just really a piece of crap too. Which I don't think that's it. But it leaked everywhere. I freaking had tomato juice everywhere. And so, I mean, it wasn't a ton, but it was enough to make a damn mess everywhere. It was measurable, but certainly nothing more than, you know, maybe an eighth a cup of waste, maybe a quarter cup of waste, and that's about it. So I don't know. I think once I clean it, I'm gonna really take a hard look at, you know, I'm gonna try to figure out where it was leaking from. I'm not sure why it was leaking. Felt like it was leaking from two different places. From the hopper, where it inserts into the barrel, and also from where the juice is coming out from the sieve, but it feels like it's actually coming out almost too much on the side, so it's coming, I don't know how to explain it, but I need to figure out what's going on with that. So, got a lot to do. I wanted to come out here and work on the succulent planter, but honestly, I'm not going to do that right now. I want to go get the strawberries taken care of before the sun really comes out. It's going to be about the same as yesterday, and then we're going to start climbing. So, anywho. Oh, I also have to deal with the drip. I need to make sure that every berry plant has drip in it. And then in about 2 days, I'm going to dig up those extra raspberries and send those out to Bruce. But I don't want to dig them up until I'm able to mail them. So, yeah, a lot to do. I got to get your tomatoes started. Oh, I need to do that today. I need to get because the last two cells of the Shelby's aren't popping. So I'm going to pop, you know, Purple Rain in both. One for me, one for you. And then that way, once that sucker gets big enough and strong enough to travel, I'll send it to you. Yeah. You hear the birds? Oh, so I have this app called the Merlin ID, and what it is, it's Cornell University, I think, is the one that put it out. But regardless of which university, it's essentially a bird finding app. So you can set it to listen. And all of the different bird songs that it hears, it will tell you what it thinks it is. And then it's up to you to decide, you know, because sometimes they'll throw a bird up that isn't really linked to your region. And so you have to have discernment when you say, yes, that's my bird. Most of the time, you know, they are absolutely on point. But there's a few times where there's an anomaly, where they may have gotten two bird songs mixed and it sounded like a different bird entirely. So, but in any event, I have been hearing this hawk around, and so I wanted to see what kind of hawk it was. And then I couldn't find my phone to start the app to listening, right? And then the hawk started going away, and I was like, oh man. And then I found my phone, and so I went to my room because I could tell that you could hear it better from my room than you could from the front yard. And so I went into my room and I could hear it, and the app didn't pick it up at first because it was quite a ways away, but then it flew a little closer and started talking again, and the app picked it up, and sure enough, it's a red-shouldered hawk. I think that's what it was, red-shouldered hawk. Not a red tail, but a red shoulder. All the redheads, right? Anyhow, oh, that sun feels good. So that was fun. Oh, and that was a new lifer. So each time you find a new bird, if they locate a new bird and it's new to you, if you've never found it before, it's called a new lifer. And so, yeah, so that was a new lifer for me. I don't really get a lot of new lifers around here. You know, we get your typical finches and sparrows and, you know, various other like hawks and, I mean, not hawks. Well, yes, hawks, but I meant crows. You know, and just blue jays and hummingbirds. And, I mean, it will pick up all of the birds. And it's essentially linked to a study that they're doing. That's why it's produced by the university. And I think it's incredibly interesting. And I'm going to say it again. Laura's son, Benjamin, he is hooked on that app. And they live in an area where they get just a ton of birds because they're so close to the mountains, and they're in eastern Oregon, and they're in the high desert, and it's just, they are in a perfect spot to just, he's got a ton of lifers, let's just say. I'm a little envious of that boy. But it's so fun to watch his interest grow. The more that he because they don't just tell you that's the bird you found. They will let you hear the bird song, the mating song. They'll give you the migration routes. They'll give you all the information about that particular bird. They'll give you a picture of it so that you may hear it, but you may not see it. So if you want to see it, you know, and all of a sudden the thing says it's here, you can like look for it, you know, and he's into it. That boy is smart. They are raising some smart kids. Sorry, someone's calling in. I'm not answering it. Anyways, so I actually started getting into it before Benjamin did, and so when I noticed him talking about it on some of the videos, I was like, oh, cool. And I had stopped using it, but then I got back into using it again, and you know, it's fun when I sit out here sometimes quietly, early in the morning, just as the sun's coming up, and the birds start waking up. I turn that sucker on with my coffee, and it like feeds my soul. It fills my cup up, you know, and it just brings me joy, you know. I don't know if you heard that or not, but that's my stomach singing a song about where's my food. I meant to eat before I started the dishwasher, and next thing you know, I started scrubbing counters and all that stuff. So anyways, all right, well, it's got to be close to 10 o'clock, and I don't think I brought my coffee out here. I need to go grab my coffee so I can finish it, and then gather all my stuff and work on, I need to finish up the work on the strawberry vertical. So I hope you're having a wonderful day, Mom. Hopefully you're warming up. Yeah. I love you. All right. Have a good day. Bye.